In 1910, hidden deep within the vast wilderness of Idaho, a lonely fire lookout tower stood on the highest mountain overlooking endless forests. Every summer, one man climbed the steep trail alone and remained there for months with no family, no neighbors, and no company, only silence. Many believed he lived the loneliest life in America. Yet decades later, when the tower was abandoned and the forest reclaimed the mountain, people realized something extraordinary. The man who spent years alone had discovered a truth most of society never understood. Sometimes, walking alone is what prepares you to face life's greatest battles. In the summer of 1910, the dense forests of northern Idaho stretched farther than the eye could see. Logging camps expanded every year, railroads carried valuable timber across America, and devastating wildfires threatened entire communities. To protect the forests, the U.S. Forest Service began constructing remote fire lookout towers on the highest mountain peaks. One of those towers stood atop Eagle Peak. Among the first men assigned there was a 30-year-old forest ranger named Michael Dawson. Michael had not chosen the assignment because it was easy. He chose it because no one else wanted it. The climb to Eagle Peak took nearly an entire day. There was no telephone, no electricity, no nearby town. Once supplies arrived, Michael would spend months almost completely alone. Before leaving, one of his closest friends asked, "Won't you get lonely?" Michael smiled quietly. "Maybe, but sometimes the hardest roads teach the greatest lessons." Every morning before sunrise, Michael climbed onto the observation platform carrying binoculars and a notebook. Hour after hour, he scanned the endless forests. A thin column of smoke could mean the beginning of a catastrophic wildfire. His responsibility was enormous. Yet most days, nothing happened. Silence surrounded him. At first, the loneliness felt unbearable. He missed conversations. He missed crowded streets. He missed hearing children's laughter. Some evenings he questioned whether he had made the right decision. Then something unexpected happened. The silence began teaching him. Without constant distractions, Michael noticed things he had never appreciated before. The sunrise painting the mountains gold. Eagles soaring beneath the clouds. Storms rolling across distant valleys. The sound of wind moving through ancient pine trees. For the first time in years, his thoughts became clear. By 1912, Michael had become one of the Forest Service's most trusted lookouts. His reports were accurate. His discipline never failed. New rangers often visited Eagle Peak for training. Many admitted they feared isolation. One young ranger confessed, "I don't think I could stay here alone." Michael handed him a small journal. "When you're alone," he said, "you finally hear the voice you've ignored your whole life." The young man never forgot those words. Then came the summer of 1914. Lightning storms ignited dozens of wildfires across Idaho. Smoke covered entire mountain ranges. Visibility disappeared. For days, Michael barely slept. He spotted several fires before anyone else. His warnings allowed firefighters to protect nearby logging camps and settlements. Newspapers praised the successful response. Few people knew the lonely ranger on Eagle Peak had quietly saved countless lives. Years passed. Michael continued serving alone. People admired his strength, but they misunderstood its source. They believed he had never feared loneliness. The truth was different. He had simply learned not to run from it. One autumn evening, while writing in his journal, Michael recorded a sentence that would later become famous among young forest rangers. "The mountain never made me lonely. It introduced me to myself." Those words spread quietly throughout the Forest Service. Many new rangers copied them into their own notebooks. Then history changed. By the 1930s, better roads, aircraft patrols, and improved communication gradually reduced the importance of isolated lookout towers. Some remained active, others were abandoned. Eventually, Eagle Peak fell silent. The tower weathered beneath heavy snow. Wood slowly decayed. Windows shattered. Nature reclaimed the lonely mountain. Years later, hikers discovered the abandoned lookout. Inside, they found Michael's weather journals. Most expected stories about loneliness. Instead, they discovered page after page describing courage, discipline, patience, and gratitude. One visitor later wrote, "He arrived here alone, but he never left empty." Today, forgotten fire lookout towers across America continue standing above silent forests. Many visitors see abandoned buildings. Historians see another story. Every lonely place once shaped someone strong enough to protect others. Life often forces people to walk difficult roads alone, not because they have been forgotten, but because some lessons cannot be learned in crowds. Confidence, resilience, patience, character. They are often built in silence. America's forgotten lookout towers remind us that history rarely remembers the easiest journeys. It remembers the people who kept climbing, even when no one walked beside them, because the future does not belong only to those surrounded by others. Sometimes, it belongs to the one person brave enough to keep walking, even when the path is completely alone.